Hey everyone, Morgan coming right back at you with a discussion of a homework called some copies say the simple roadmap problems. Other copies of this just call it the mole chart. Depends which PDF you happen to get. Okay, so this is very similar to what we did in the lecture outline. Okay, it's a pretty straightforward application of the idea of molar mass. So we're going to start off with helium. When I look at helium on my periodic table, I'm using one that looks like this here. Helium is 4.00, and that is grams per mole. So what's the mass of 1 mole of this compound? I take 4.00 grams per mole, I multiply by 1 mole, and I get 4.00 grams. What's the mass of 2 moles of it? Well, I take 4.00 grams per mole, I multiply by 2 moles, and I get 8.00 grams. What is the mass of half a mole of the compound? I take my 4.00, I multiply by half, and I get 2.00 grams. Now, basic definition time. How many molecules are in 1 mole of this? 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd. How many molecules are in 2 moles of this? So what I'm going to do here, take my calculator, and I'll take 6.022 second EE23, and I'm going to multiply that by 2. And that gives me 1.204 times 10 to the 24th. Sorry, 24th, and that's molecules. M-O-L-E-C, M-O-L-E-C. Okay, now, for Br2, on my periodic table, bromine is 79.90. I multiply it by 2 because it's diatomic, and I'm getting 159.8. So 159.80 grams per mole. So what's the mass of 1 mole of that? I multiply that by 1 and get 159.80 grams. Now, for 2 moles, I take my 159.80, I multiply it by 2, and I get 319.6. 13.60 grams. For half a mole, I take my 159.8, okay? Multiply it by 0.5, and I get 79.9. grams. Okay? So how many molecules are in 1 mole of this compound? 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd every time. How about in 2 moles? 1.204 times 10 to the 24th every time. Okay? Now, pH 3 is the next one here. So I'm going to do a little scratch work down here. 1 phosphorus, 3 hydrogens times phosphorus is 30.1, so that looks like it's 34.00 grams per mole. So the molar mass is 34.00 grams per mole. The mass of 1 mole is 34.00 grams. The mass of 2 moles would be 68.00 grams. That times 2. Half a mole, I divide that. That's 17.00 grams. How many molecules in 1 mole? 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules. In 2 moles, 1.204 times 10 to the 24th molecules. Every time it's going to come out that way. Now, for carbon dioxide, do a little scratch work down here. Carbon, oxygen, 1 times 12.01, 2 times 16.00. Molar mass is 44.01 grams per mole. Multiply by 1 mole, 44.01 grams. Multiply it by 2 moles, 88.02 grams. Half a mole, 22.00 0.01, the way we rounded off. Don't worry about that so much, grams. And again, the number of molecules in 1 mole is 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules. Hopefully we're driving that point home. Okay. H2O2, hydrogen peroxide, hydrogen, oxygen, 2 of each. 2 times 1.01, 2 times 16.0, 34.02 grams per mole. So 34.02 grams per mole is the molar mass, which means 1 mole weighs 34.02 grams. 2 moles, let's just check that out. 34.02 times 2, 68.04. Half of that would be 17.01 grams, and 6.022 times 10 to the 23rd molecules in 1 mole, and 1.204 times 10 to the 24th molecules in 2 moles. Okay, folks, there it is. Line that up nice and straight for you. Still not quite. A little bit better. And that's the simple mole chart. Okay, hope you did well with that one. This will be Morgan signing off.